circuit, and we will very shortly walk you through that grid. And here is the grid, ladies and gentlemen. So, for the second of our 5 British Truck Racing Championship races here at Donington Park National today, David Jenkins will line up in pole position after taking 8th place in race number 1. The inverted top 8 will see Stephen Powell join him alongside on the front row. Stuart Oliver starts P3 ahead of John Bowler, with Michael Oliver just behind their P5 ahead of Tom O'Rourke P6. Then David Smith and Paul Rivet will complete what is the top 8 with John Powell there P9, and then we will have Neil Yates completing your top 10. From them, we will also have, as we do look a little bit further down the order in due course, in fact, I think this grid may be set, based on the second qualifying results, not actually from the top 8 inversion. I think that's race 3. My apologies. We will see Adam Bint, who'll be starting in P11 ahead of Simon Cole, and then Archie Handy and Ryan Smith will complete your 14 truck lineup. But there they all are in terms of the grid, and the grid is all formed up at the moment. We do have a couple of team members out there just doing the last checks on the trucks, but the marshals will also be having a word with the drivers to make sure they're all set and ready to go. And we of course have that formation lap, and when the formation lap does get underway, we will then only be approximately 2 minutes away from going to green flag racing. So if you haven't got yourself a quick beverage, or if you need to quickly go to the bathroom, if you're tuning in from home, this is the prime time to do so, because trust me, you won't want to miss this. After a thrilling race number 1, we've still got plenty more to come in race number 2 of our trucks here. And well, I think I will be joined in due course in the commentary booth by none other than Pointy himself. But as all of our drivers get set and ready to go, well, we're only a moment away from seeing another green flag. And as all our drivers do get set, he comes to me in the commentary booth. Hello again, Pointy.
Hi,
how's
mate.
it going?
Very good. I've just been to the ice cream van down by Redgate. I had a mountain. I didn't get pour one. No, sorry everybody. I didn't get pour one. I did bring him a bottle of water earlier on. It is like 1,000,000 degrees in the commentary box though. You drink your water, okay? Just be grateful. It's good water. What is it? Aqua Pura, never heard of it. Anyway, I've got my ice cream and my slush puppy. As we look out over onto the pit straight of the circuit, we see the fairground in direct sunlight, guys and girls on the rides having a great time here at Conroy in the Park as the BTRC heavyweights make their way out for their second outing of the day. And this will be the make or break for Saturday for the BTRC, their last outing of Saturday, with another International Truck Prix later on this afternoon. Well, I say this afternoon, it's quarter to flipping 7, Paul. Have you bought your sleeping bag?
Oh, I think I have. I'm going to need a lot of coffee to keep me awake now, I'll tell you that.
I'll leave you the rest of my snow mountain, how's that? I had Simon Cole drawing on my arm earlier with a permanent marker, so that went down well. Luckily though, Dave Jenkins didn't get too many people with the champagne at the trophy presentation moments ago. We're also here with another racing legend, a personal friend of mine, Sammy Bowler, sister of John Bowler, racing in Division 1, and it's nice to have her back on the circuit. A very familiar face for many years. There she is, look, see, say hi. And it's great to have her back. She's been a real energetic soul with the British Truck Racing that many people have missed over the years, and she's been off doing mini racing among other things, driver training. There was something you did as well, was it some chase thing where you were in like supercars and you were chasing each other around and racing? So she's done it all, ladies and gentlemen, and I had the pleasure of working with her in the mini challenge, which used to be a single series event. Nothing but minis. Of course, they're supporting us this year, the mini challenge, and doing a great job of it too. So there we go. There's a bit of background. The lady, the legend. Oh, Ian Waterhouse is here as well. I'm not sure we're on picture-in-picture anymore. There he is. It's just a great old time up here in the commentary box. I'm going to lose about a stone in fluids by the time I leave though, because it is 90 degrees in here. I'm not even joking. This is just take my hat off. Right then, so truck racing. Should we talk truck racing?
I think we should.
Why not? Let's have a laugh, shall we? So, very short break, effectively, for a lot of these trucks. We're going to have a lot of residual heat in the trucks, in the drivers. Some of which we've just done trophies, but they are making their way out now on the outlap. This will be the second fastest qualifying lap times from this morning to denote the grid, and then tomorrow will be the reverse grid. So that'll be the reverse grid of this morning's first race, and then the next race will be reverse grid of the second race, and it rolls on like that through the weekend. But yeah, so we can see though, unfortunately, Ryan Smith, of course, not getting that qualifying lap in this morning, starts at the back again. The pace truck makes its way in. We've got the red lights, and the red lights go out. It's time to go racing. Here we go. Dave Jenkins with a fantastic start. It's neck and neck with Steve Powell. Who's going to be able to put the power down? I can't really tell at this point. Going wide, Steve Powell, though. Dave Jenkins comes round. Have we got room there for Michael Oliver dropping back behind Dad? John Bowler, though, doing very well, keeping that third position around the outside line at the moment. Will he be able to make it stick? No, it's third place for Stuart Oliver. Michael Oliver just pipping ahead into fourth there as John Bowler carries on with the inside line. It's very tight racing, but it's clean so far. Dave Smith right on the tail of Tom O'Rourke there. And Ryan Smith getting held up there, bugged down slightly by John Powell, who we didn't think we were going to see this afternoon, I'll be honest. He did have some issues at the end of that race earlier on. John Bowler getting pushed ever so slightly wide there. And Dave Jenkins and Steve Powell comfortably now taking off into first and second. But Stuart Oliver is going to be happy to be in that podium position for the first time this weekend.
Oh, 100%. And as we see Ryan Smith now looking for a further move, a major lock up there from the number 11. And, well, with that, it's going to enable Ryan to make his way on through a little bit further. But we can see a lot slower progress this time from Ryan Smith on the open lap, albeit he has picked up multiple places already, so it's not as though he's going places. But I think everyone's taken a little bit of inspiration, perhaps, from our opening race today. I think as though they can keep the 8-time champion behind them, but they've got to work hard to do it. And they're all, I think, going to be channeling their inner David Jenkins as they make the way onto lap number 2, but it is, the order as it stands is Jenkins ahead of Stephen Powell, followed by none other than Stuart Oliver. Then we're going to have what is Michael Oliver, then O'Rourke, followed by Bowler. Then we do have Ryan Smith ahead of what is none other than David Smith, and then it's going to be John Powell, and then Paul Rick completing your top 10. But a brilliant opening lap, and now as we make way onto lap number 2, Pointy, I mean, the circuit's getting a little bit warmer out there, and I think Ryan Smith is now heating up.
He certainly is. He's just taken another position back off John Bowler, leaving Dave Smith in his dust. And we did see a decent start from John Powell in Division 2 there, but it looks like Paul Rivette just managed to get past him in the early part of lap 2. So hopefully John's not going to have any technical issues this race, and we're going to see a good bit of effort laid down the tarmac from him. But look now as Ryan Smith looks for the next position past Tom O'Rourke. Very similar looking trucks these, but of course sailing past him, very clean overtake. The skill difference is where these trucks are obviously pipped to the post. But Ryan Smith, look at those two trucks. I do love to see a bullnose out on the circuit, though. They do look phenomenal. I think the fans love seeing those T-cabs, as they call them. Yeah, very, very enjoyable sight. But I just love seeing these pairs as well. We've got the Oliver father and son team further up there as well. And it's nice to see a mix of trucks out on the circuit.
Oh, 100%. And as I drive all the way on to another lap, well, now with Ryan Smith making his way up to P5, and I'm learning a little bit about the T-cab stand. Didn't know that was a term. I'll save that in the bank for a bit later on.
Bullnose or T-cab. Some of them will say the T-cab's only a Scania, but you know, I'm a bit new as well to certain things.
Oh, goodness me. As they make the way down in towards the crater curve, the 7 and 12 there of the Oliver family staying together. But Ryan Smith on the back now of Michael Oliver as they head on down. Now, is he going to be able to find a way into the old hairpin? I don't think so this time. Good defensive driving here from Michael Oliver. Of course, that will compromise his run up towards McLean's, but it will be the next corners after that. That is where we'll see Ryan Smith go for it. Unless he tries to do a little bit of two wheels off the road, which we did see earlier on for some drivers, and they made it work. But I get the feeling at this point, we've still got plenty of time, and I don't think Smith's going to gamble it this early to make moves.
No, there's a risk-reward ratio all the time running in these drivers' heads, and if you push it too hard too early on, you're going to end up paying the price for it. However, saying that, Ryan Smith is looking for every opportunity. He doesn't want to wait too long before making these moves, because let's remember he's still got 4 more positions up the inside there, and Michael Oliver there looking for that space. Is he going to be able to make it? Tom O'Rourke looking very close from this angle as well. But of course, it's very strange when we're watching it from these feeds sometimes and you see it from a different angle. The gaps are totally different to what you'd expect. But Ryan Smith there, sailing past Michael Oliver, clean overtake, shutting the door there though. Michael Oliver said to Tom O'Rourke, no mate, he's gone, but you're staying.
Oh, indeed. A lovely little bit of defensive driving there from Michael Oliver to make sure it was not a 2-for-1 special, albeit I think O'Rourke's got other ideas. He takes a peek to the inside. Will he go for it? Yes, he is going to go. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. He lands it in.
Michael Oliver pushed slightly wide, no contact though, lucky as both tyres onto the gravel. John Bowler though making use of that slightly loss of momentum there from Michael Oliver. But now Stuart Oliver in his new number 7 MAN under pressure from Ryan Smith to bring Ryan Smith up into the top 3. And yeah, Tom O'Rourke powering ahead. This is great driving to see from Tom O'Rourke, which obviously hasn't quite registered on TSL just yet until they finish the rest of this lap. But as they come across the line, look, we've already got side by side Stuart Oliver and Ryan Smith in his very tight racing. But Ryan Smith makes that move up the hill. Will he be able to outbrake? Yes, and it tucks it in around through the apex, that bend, and again powers away. The acceleration that we see from Ryan Smith is amazing. Back down in Division 2 though, we've still got Paul Rivette, John Powell down for Adam Bint to make your top 3 in Division 2, and then Simon Cole just ahead of Neil Yates, of course. So drastic difference for the 33 truck racing this division, of course, in the hands of previous owner Jamie Anderson.
Oh, very true. And as the drivers make the way into what is the second third of this race, still plenty more to come here. And now Smith's going to try and overturn what is effectively a almost 6-second gap to Jenkins at the front of the field. He's got a long way to charge. Oh, goodness me, that is sideways
action. That is huge sideways action from Michael Oliver. What's going on there? This could be a serious technical fault now with Michael Oliver, because he should not be going sideways that easily. There is something's damaged to the back of that truck, because there is literally no control. We've lost Adam Bint as well, gone wide there, out into the gravel. Will he be able to save it before the tyre wall? Yes, he keeps it moving. Of course, we do have what's known as the virtual safety car now in the British trucks, which allows some snatch recovery, or the time for the drivers to get some speed back up, re-enter the race. So it's a bit like a yellow flag, but it's instead of a red flag. Of course, red flags literally stop everything and cause huge amounts of time delays to the racing. Big action here though, Dave Smith looking for a space past John Bowler. John Bowler having to do a lot of defensive driving today, but it looks like even Tom O'Rourke has caught up with Stuart Oliver in that truck there. And this is going to be an exciting last half of the race, with 7.5 minutes left on the clock, just over. We've got all to play for, but I want to know what's wrong with Michael Oliver, and I can't even see him in the distance now. So something pretty serious has gone wrong with Michael Oliver, and I think it's going to be down to the fact we're overworking some of these trucks this weekend.
Oh, I suspect. And I do have to ask as well, Pointy, with regards to these trucks. I mean, obviously, circuit's not too hot today compared to what it could be, but you're running behind another truck, almost said the word there, and in the end, you're picking up the dirty air of the truck in front of you, so heat's coming on through. How much cooling do they need over the course of a race?
I mean, quite a bit, but then the air filters, the size of the intercoolers of these things, almost as big as the radiators. I mean, they're absolutely massive. The radiators are probably a metre square. But even then, you know, if you're taking up dirty air, that's also going to affect the airflow going into the boost filter, the turbo filter, and that then won't work in the turbo the same way. So turbos will still give boost, obviously, but cooler, cleaner, less dense air is going to be able to get compressed much better, and that's going to head into the intake much quicker and create a lot more power in the engine. Whereas dirty, warm, thicker air isn't going to compress the same way in the turbo, and you are going to struggle with that level of boost. So yeah, coming out of the corners, if you're slipstreaming in this kind of weather conditions, it will cause a bit of an issue with acceleration. But Ryan Smith doesn't appear to be having that problem behind Steve Powell at the moment, and he's saying, no, I'm going to get you another third, but you're not having a second on my watch. And here he comes for that big move. Can he put the power down on the straight to make it stick? It's going to look like a tight one. Darts in for the apex, but Steve Powell keeping that racing line, making a good job of controlling the position, I would say that's called, yes.
Oh, most definitely, and in doing so, the gap now to Jenkins moving up to the best part of 3.5 seconds. So the longer Smith has to try and find his way past Powell, it's only going to hurt him chasing down that win. And I think Jenkins at this point, if he is looking in his rearview mirror at any point, he'll be thinking to himself, okay, I know that gap is gradually pulling away. But as our drivers make their way in towards what will be at McLean's and onwards they go. Well, right now, absolutely close there between Powell and Ryan Smith as they make the way up into McLean's this time. Onto the brakes they go. No real move here, but we know this is where Ryan Smith gets the better launch out the corner versus most of his rivals. He's going to do that again here. Goes for it, doesn't quite, and immediately Powell knows it's coming. He pulls over to the inside. He's been watching Ryan Smith over the last couple of laps. He knows where Ryan's going for these moves.
This is it, and of course Ryan knows the track very well. I mean, all the drivers do. They've been here a few times each by now, and they've all got their favourite parts to take those moves, make those positions count. And yeah, Ryan Smith's got quite a few on this circuit, evidently. But at the same time, yep, there he goes through the chicane, cuts it super tight. Did we see any contact with the tyres? I don't think that was any contact. So sailed through there, just managed to nip through, and yeah, he's back into second place with 4.5 minutes left. So Michael Oliver now, unfortunately, does appear to be out of the race there. He's just come up the number 12, Michael Oliver, is down and out. That looks, something must have snapped. I mean, I'm not a mechanic, so I'm just going to randomly guess at either a lead spring on the back or anti-roll bar, which is going to lose all the kind of strength in the back end of the vehicle, which is what's meant to stop it twisting around. You can soften that anti-roll bar to let it be a bit softer in the rain, to hold the track a bit better, but then in the dry, you want it to be more rigid, more tight, and if that snapped off, then it's just going to be all over the shop and effectively sideways when it's not meant to be. That's my guess, though. I'm not, like I say, not a mechanic. I'm sure we'll have messages on the YouTube. If you are watching us on YouTube, please do feel free to head down into the comment section and correct me on anything that I've probably made up. And but yeah, it'd be great to hear from you guys in the messages. Let us know what you think is wrong with Michael Oliver's truck. I'll find out, and then we'll let you know during the international in the next race, if Martin Gibson's out in the truck, of course.
That's very true. But as our drivers make their way on through and we head into the final 3.5 minutes, there's a bit of a perspective shot for you in terms of Jenkins leading the 69, still holding on. Ryan Smith is absolutely hustling at this point. You can see how much that gap has come down. That is not 4.5 seconds, and as they cross the line, I get the feeling that's somewhere around 3 seconds now as we get the update. And well, when we do get that, it is going to be confirmed at 3.7 seconds, so still got a way to go. 3 more laps by looks of things. Meanwhile, looking a little bit further back, that's number 22 of Paul Rivet that just happily it's sailing its way right now in the lead of what is the second class. And as he makes his way on through, looking on course potentially here, what could be back-to-back wins with regards to race 1 and race 2 today. But as he charged on, he's still got a 3.8 second gap to manage versus Powell behind him. But at the same, with that in mind, John Powell will keep pushing. But I get the feeling that Paul Rivet will feel as though this is going his way. But still, a little bit of time remaining in this race. Anything can happen, including some shaky bodywork there. And I actually have to ask, did we ever get to the bottom of what was going on with Jenkins' car? There's not car, truck at the...
Truck. And it wasn't Jenkins, it was Ryan Smith that was falling apart. I know exactly where you were going with it, don't you worry. I did actually ask him, and self-admitted says, yeah, he says I was right on his tail the whole time. You know, there was a moment where we literally just came together, obviously both doing very high speed, so it wasn't an impact of any way, shape or form. But of course, you get a bit of fight. I mean, don't forget, these look like pretty beefy machines, and there is a lot of steel and a lot of iron there, but there are still a lot of bits of fiberglass on there as well, and they don't stand up to much scrutiny when you when you start rubbing them against each other. So yeah, he says, look, he says that's what happens. You get it. Neither of the trucks were affected, and that's the most important thing. Ooh. We look like we've lost Stuart Oliver as well. Is this the curse of the 9-race weekend? I mean, that's a lot of effort going into these trucks. Have we got an issue? What will we see both Olivers dropping out of this race with just 1 lap left? That's points lost to Stuart Oliver. But again, massive shame, because points-wise, Michael Oliver doing very well this year already. And of course, it is the points that make the difference. You know, not always just about podium wins. It's about the overall points through the year.
Oh, 100%, and those points finishes are going to come to an abrupt halt if so, as we do see there the number 6 limping along a little bit, although I think it's okay, just not quite the pace of the number 33, and actually it's looking for an opportunity here to make a move, and none other than what will be John Powell. But will he be able to find it? They go side by side on the approach down into the Craner curves, and I suspect there that Powell might just decide to lift off a little bit to avoid going wide at all, albeit we'll find out that story a bit later. Meanwhile, we look back to your leaders. 1 more lap after this one as they come down towards the Robert chicane, and we can see that Ryan Smith has now brought that gap down to sub 2 seconds by the looks of things as they're about to embark on the final journey of this race, albeit Jenkins, I think he doesn't need to worry too much here, given the fact that he has got a gap, and Ryan Smith's going to have to still pull that gap down, albeit 1.4 seconds stripped out of his advantage on that lap. Well, here we go then, Pointy. One more lap remaining. Jenkins holds on by 1.3 seconds, but Ryan Smith, well, he can cut that gap down that amount of time. Do you think he can do it?
It's possible. I mean, like I say, we've seen bigger moves from Ryan Smith this season alone. But Dave Jenkins is I just feel like he's found his groove this weekend. He's of course got Dad Jenkins here this weekend watching. They had some great photos in front of the podium earlier on, which was just lovely to see. 3 generations of Jenkins here this weekend, either watching or racing. And that's what we like to see. So yeah, really, really great. I think he's got the whole team behind him this weekend, Dave has, and I think it's well deserved as well. So yeah, if this goes the way he wants it to, the way I think it's going to go, it's going to be another fantastic podium, first place podium win, I might add, for Dave Jenkins, which will make him and his entire team very happy. And what a way to close out the Saturday. I mean, that's going to be a good few drinks tonight and a fantastic party in the Jenkins tent, I think.
Oh, 100%. Well, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, as they make the way into the last couple of corners. The clock strikes 0. It is going to be Jenkins who leads as they head on through, and David Jenkins here is going to make it. By looks things 2 Izzy as the checker flag waves. It's close, but it does fall to Jenkins by the slenderest of margins.
He pushed him, he tried it. I'll tell you what.
Oh, 100%. And P3, meanwhile, will go to none other than Stephen Powell there, who put in a solid performance for P3 in the number 3. That's quite poetic. We'll then have O'Rourke cross line. Tom O'Rourke, P4. Couldn't quite stay with the leaders, as meanwhile also battling there for P5. This is the battle between Smith and Bowler as they head across that timeline. And the number 11 there of Smith just taking that top 5 finish as Bowler coming home at P6. And then I believe we may have a truck that's well, not quite a lap down. As Paul Rivett's going to come across the line. That's number 40 that finishes partially a lap down there, and that'll be handy in what is effectively P5 in the Class 2, but P12 overall. And then Paul Rivett coming through to take the Class 2 win. They're making it back-to-back wins, exactly what he wanted, ahead of Yates. And then we will have John Powell there in P9. And then last but not least of our finishers inside the top 10 will be none other than Simon Cole. And good to be going very sideways out of the final corner, but to be fair, showing off his flair, it's the number 5 there of none other than Adam Bint, who crosses the line to complete our finishing order. We had 14 starters, 12 finishers, a challenging race, but some great racing there. And well, many of you enjoying the side-by-side finish at the line, but in the end, it was David Jenkins who has made it 2 wins on the bounce day overall and also in Class 1. And well, like Pointy was saying only moments ago, be absolutely pleased. There will be a lot of ecstatic reactions down in the pit lane, indeed, amongst the family. But as our drivers make their way through, Pointy's already left to make his way down towards what will be Park Ferme to conduct the interviews with our truck drivers. So we won't cut the team up right now, but we will in due course. But we are going to get those provisional results up on the screen, and here they are. And as we can see, overall win after 11 laps of racing of David Jenkins there by 1/10 at the finish line over Ryan Smith, who came from the back to finish P2. Stephen Powell, P3, they round off the podium in another great third place finish. And Tom O'Rourke, P4, David Smith, P5, John Bowler, P6, and then we had none other than your Class 2 winner, making it back-to-back Class 2 wins, Paul Rivett, ahead of Neil Yates, and in second and third place in Class 2 going to John Powell and Simon Cole, respectively, to complete what was the top 10 overall. Adam Pimp, P11 there, with P4 in Class 2, ahead of Archie Handy, who was a lap down at the finish, but still putting in a good performance. And then we did, unfortunately, it seems as though double retirement for the Oliver family. Stuart Oliver retiring with 3 laps to go and 7 laps to go for Michael Oliver, and hopefully they are able to get those issues sorted ahead of what will be the International Truck Prix races later today. But those are the results, and well, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, shortly we're going to be heading down to Park Ferme for an interview or two with what is our truck drivers, and well, when we do that, we'll get to hear their thoughts on the racing. But as our drivers do get parked up at the moment, and indeed we get this wonderful shot here of the number 69, and that is going to be David Jenkins getting out of the cab, and we're absolutely pleased once again, no doubt about it, as everyone just gradually makes their way down towards what will be the Melbourne into Goddard section, the GP loop if you will, and some absolutely incredible laps there right towards the end from all of our drivers, but particularly from what was Dave Jenkins, to be able to hold off Ryan Smith to that very last and find out there about what happened with Ryan Smith on the front of the vehicle at the end of race number 1. Just body parts coming off there due to slight rubs and bits of contact, but nothing major, and well, being able to get all those bits of fiberglass and whatnot back on the vehicle. And there is Pointy, and without further ado, I think we are going to hand over to him very shortly for interviews with our drivers.
I didn't have to run this time at least, but we are of course down in Parc Ferme again, and joined again, here I am with Dave Jenkins. Dave, that's got to be another one for Dad, right?
Yeah, I don't know who I'm going to give that one to. No. Just great, you know, we've had a good day, haven't we? So really pleased for all our sponsors and all of our team, and you know, and the whole truck racing spectacle. I'm sure that race wasn't quite as entertaining as the one before, but
I don't know, it was still pretty good. There was lots going on. We lost 2 trucks for some reason, so it'd be interesting to see what's wrong with those.
yeah, I think there was a lot of diesel down on the way into Redgate. Ben had spotted it straight away. That probably saved us that race then. He called it straight away, so I was looking for it. Otherwise, if I'd have bowled it in there full speed first on the road. So no, that was I think that one was for Ben actually. Now if we're giving them away.
Oh, fair enough, and there we go. No, that's cool, that's cool. I mean, they're your wins, mate. You can do what you like with them. But yeah, what I was saying to the fans at home, just on the commentary, what a great way to start the weekend and finish the day with 2 first-place podiums. It's going to be a racket from the Jenkins tent tonight, isn't it?
No, I'll be going to bed early.
Is that the secret?
I'm on best behaviour. No, it's brilliant to turn the results in, to show back the faith that everybody's put into us, you know, financially, emotionally and physically and every other way around. It's amazing from the team and the sponsors, because, you know, I'm just the nut behind the wheel. The rest of it's a massive big machine first.
Emphasis on the nut behind the wheel, definitely. It takes a lot of something. No, I didn't say that. I was like, it takes a lot of something to drive these things, and it's certainly not common sense, is it?
No, apparently not.
Yeah.
But
wouldn't do it unless you really wanted to.
No, we need to go and find a bit more speed overnight. Tomorrow's reverse grid races are definitely going to be spectacular, and there'll be no holding Ryan back tomorrow, will there? So,
it's going to be an interesting watch. Yeah, I mean, he will definitely be somewhere up there tomorrow. But yeah, of course, is it? I think Dave Smith's on pole for the first race, isn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, 8th place, so reverse grid. He'll be starting ahead. But then, yeah, this is the thing we love about the reverse grids. A lot of battles, a lot of challenges to get back up that paddock, isn't there?
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be, you know, the telling day. So stay out of trouble and keep moving forward, scoring some points.
Excellent. Dave Jenkins, thank you very much, my good man. Let's have a walk over across Parc Ferme. The sun is well and truly shining, though, here at Donington Park. We've got some live music over on the main stage later on this evening, and of course 1,500 show trucks will have their air horns going, their lights going. It's going to be a phenomenal evening if the weather stays like this. So it really is going to be a brilliant night, and we've still got one more race left for you, the International Truck Prix, later on tonight, 6:45. I think it's the latest truck race I've ever been part of, at least until we go over to France for the Le Mans 24 Camion. Right, let's wander up then and have a chat to our current very lucky driver, Paul Rivette. John Bowler. John, how are we? Just quickly say hello to John, actually. Cause we've got both of them on film then, haven't we? You see, it's like right. Yes, that's very good. Yes, it's one of the rules. You have to be looking tidy. There we go. Championship regulation. Make sure you're in a clean, well turned out racing suit. Which, well done. We've marked that one off. You're okay now.
Yeah, fantastic. I put a lot of effort into this, so
good.
It's come to
and driving wise, we saw a couple of trucks drop out there, but you were certainly holding your own that middle of the field, weren't you?
Yeah, no, there's a couple of teething issues we're dealing with the truck at the minute. It's just letting us down a little bit. But Michael come off and just seen the spray coming up behind. It looked like oil, or diesel, whatever it was, but it certainly got very slippery.
Yeah, because the first thing we noticed in the commentary box was him just going sideways round everything. And I'm like, this isn't normal. Something's gone there. So it was literally something on the ground rather than something wrong with the machine. Well, something wrong with the handling itself.
Yeah, no, something coming out from underneath it was covering the windscreen, and so yeah.
Not
but,
ideal.
It was a little bit slippery from behind, so yeah.
Oh, I dear, see. Well, that's affected everybody, I see. As there's quite a big gap, though, with those front two. They're almost untouchable, aren't they, those two this weekend?
Yeah, fantastic. Both of them are doing right and came right from the back of the grid. So yeah, that's off to pair of them. Good
and we've got a full tent back in the paddock supporting Team Bowler this weekend, haven't we? Probably watching on the big screen. Is the young ones here with us today?
Yeah, my little lad's here with me this weekend, and all family and friends have come over to support us. A lot of sponsors.
Say hello.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah. Oh well, John. Look, thank you for being with us. Thank you for talking to us. And yeah, better luck tomorrow. Let's have a look at that pace, and yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to find a better position for yourself.
That's great. Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, buddy. Right then, onwards, here we go. Not to forget, Paul Rivette. How are we, sir? It's warm, huh?
It's very warm out there.
So sweaty. You look almost as sweaty as me. I've just been in the commentary box.
I'm about as unfit as I've probably ever been in my life as well. After breaking my ankle 4 months ago, I'm still not back to being able to go running or anything like that.
5 mile runs have just fallen by the wayside, haven't they?
That's it.
Unbelievable. So another great result for you, though. That for another first place podium. You're really racking those up again now, aren't you?
Yeah, we need those max points every race really to claw back that deficit in the championship, which is starting to come back to us. After Pembrokeshire, it was looking like a bit of an impossible task, but we're already starting to see it come back to us. So yeah.
No issues with the ankle. I mean, it's all well and good being back in the driving seat, but it's not against doctor's orders. You're feeling pretty good.
Oh, no. It just gets a bit sore by the end of the day when I'm walking around on it. In the truck, driving around, absolutely fine. That's good. I'm just not about to go doing any hurdles at the moment or running any 1,000-metre races.
Stay away from the hurdles anyway. I mean, I've never done any hurdles, and look how great I look. Right, Paul, thank you very much for joining us, buddy. Another great result. Someone I do want to speak to, if they're out of the trucks, let's have a quick chat to Archie, because we don't get to see him on camera very often. Archie Handy by name, but of course racing heritage in the blood, am I right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we don't really get a chance to speak to you very much, but I thought, well, here you are, you're out your truck, Parc Ferme, sunny day, why not? Let's get to know the driver. Now, have you in fact taken the trophy now for the youngest driver in the BTRC?
Yes, I have.
So, because of course, previously it would probably have been held by Bradley Smith, wasn't it? It was like 20 odd. How old are you now?
19.
19, that's crazy. Now,
I've done my first race 2 days after my 19th birthday.
So how do the licences work for those out there? Because you are literally a prime example of dreams coming true, let's be honest. I mean, there's a lot to be taken for granted here. There's kids at home going, I want to do that one day. We're talking 19 years old. How do the licences work? What's the process there to get in a truck racing truck?
Well, obviously you've got to have your race licence you can get it as soon as you want to go out racing, but you had to get your HGV licence, your Class 2 licence as well, which I already had. I had my Class 1 licence because of the job I'm in where I do HGV mechanics.
So you can do Class 1 at what age?
18.
Oh, great, okay.
18. Now, it used to be 21, and then now, yeah, you can do it at 18 because of COVID.
So that if you want to be a truck driver as well, you don't have to wait very long for that anymore either. So driver's licence at 17 or 18, 18 definitely for the Class 1, and then get your racing licence from 18 as well, can't you?
I had mine since I was 14. I started in the juniors and then worked my way up to this.
So you were racing in the Saxos, am I right?
Yeah, I started off in the Saxos, 4 or 5 years ago now. Then done a couple seasons in that, moved up to the Junior Fiestas, done that for a couple seasons. Then I went into a season of endurance racing, and then the opportunity for this come up, so I got into the trucks.
Wow, well Archie, thank you very much. It looks like we're all being cleared out of Parc Ferme. Speaking of endurance, we've got a very long race for you coming up this afternoon. Good job on the racing, stick with the trucks, you know you're in the right place.